Hello, I'm Andreas Reithofer from Ffrm Consulting Engineers, and I would like to present you the flash flood risk map, being part of the Switch On project. Flash floods are becoming increasingly familiar in Europe nowadays, as short but extremely heavy precipitation events occur more and more, not only in the south, but also in the central and even in northern parts of Europe, like southern Sweden. If you're from southern Germany or Austria, you will surely remember the summer of 2016, where alone in Bavaria, estimations of damage caused by flash floods excel the limit of 1 billion euros. Extreme rainfall events like this surpass the soil's absorption capacity by far, and the excess water seeks its way downwards until the bottom of the valley. Existing forests retard and weaken this process, but on the contrary, sealed surfaces and bare ground further increase it and speed it up. And existing sewerage is mostly completely overstrained. So what can we do about it? Are we helplessly exposed to weather phenomena like this? To a certain amount, yes. But 2D hydraulic models can really help us a lot in identifying areas of risk, calculate possible damage, and develop affordable counter strategies. So, this is where Flash Flood Risk Map can help you, by identifying areas of risk endangered by flash floods. Look if you're on the safe side. Go to waterviewer.com and on the Home button you can see some basic information on how the map was calculated. If you proceed to Viewer, on the left-hand side there are 3 maps amongst you can choose. Ffrm Upper Austria being the main map, which covers the whole state of Upper Austria. Ffrm Aneby, which deals with a pilot area in southern Sweden. And finally, the climate change scenario Linz. Handling of the viewer is very easy, as all you have to do is zoom and pan around the map and switch between different layers. The default layer is the risk map, which you can see here on the screen now, and you can turn it on and turn it off on the right-hand side. It is an estimation of potential damage in case of flooding, and it is derived via several damage functions which take into account the maximum water depth calculated in the 2D model, classified average land values, building density and land use. The absolute values calculated in the background are classified into 5 different classes, ranging from very low damage risk in dark green, over medium damage risk in yellow, until very high damage risk in red. Whereas the low damage risk classes are typical for agricultural areas and low inundation depths, the high damage risk mostly consists of high-density urban areas or industrial areas, where potential damage rises very quickly with rising inundation depth. Forest, water areas and mountain areas with sparse or no vegetation at all are not regarded in the risk map. The second layer to explore is the maximum water depth. It is entirely based on the results of the 2D hydraulic calculation, which has been carried out basing on a rain event of 100 years return period and 60 minutes duration. The 2D model has a rainfall runoff model implemented and therefore can calculate the effective runoff at every node and every time step of the calculation. For background information, you can choose among different base maps like OpenStreetMap, the official Austrian base map, or an orthophoto map. Just click on the respective radio button on the right. The second map implemented in current version is the Flash Flood Risk Map Aneby. which covers an area of around 500 square kilometers in the southern part of Sweden. We have to choose OSM as background layer here. Although local conditions like soils and terrain and data availability are quite diverse to the situation in Upper Austria, the results, which have been presented in a workshop, have been proven to be very good, especially in the central region, which had been calculated with a high-resolution digital elevation model out of LiDAR data. The third map shows the climate change scenario around the Upper Austrian capital of Linz, based on a statistical downscaling of regional climate models, which had been carried out in the EU project Zwickau. Although the individual members show a great variance in simulated precipitation intensities, the trend for 2020, 2050 and 2080 goes up to even higher intensities, causing more extreme rainfall events with the respective inundation and damage risk involved. You can switch through the different layers and see the difference in water depth as well as combined risk. So you see, the flash flood risk map is very flexible, both in content as well as in scope, as long as the necessary data is available. It can be calculated virtually anywhere in the world, for small regions with high detail and for large regions with a lower detail. It's up to you to choose. And remember, all results shown here are calculated with freely accessible open data. It only depends on what you make of it. That's the key issue of Switch On.